let's go ahead and look at this excerpt of The Pianist. This is the story of Spielsman. The first day of November was approaching. Okay, so it's winter time, and it was beginning to get cold, particularly at night. To keep myself from going mad in my isolation, going mad, this is going crazy, I decided to lead as disciplined a life as possible. Okay, this is very important. I'm going to go ahead and highlight this. So, what is the author's goal? Goal is to keep myself from going mad. Why is he going mad? Because he is isolated. He is alone. So the solution is what? To lead a disciplined life as possible. So what we should expect to see then following this is how he is disciplined. What does discipline look like? So we find out that discipline looks like I still had my watch, the pre-Omega I treasured as the apple of my eye, along with my fountain pen. They were my sole possessions. Okay, so he's got a watch and a pen. I intentionally kept the watch wound and drew up a timetable by it. So he is not losing track of time. So he's keeping track of time. Great. I lay motionless. He is laying motionless all day long to what? To conserve what little strength I had left. How is he continuing to conserve his strength? By putting out my hand only once around midday to fortify myself, to build myself up with a rusk and a mug of water sparingly portioned out. Okay, so we are conserving our strength. So he's keeping track of time. He is conserving his strength. From early in the morning until I took this meal, as I lay there with my eyes closed, I went over in my mind, what is he doing mentally? All the compositions I had ever played, bar by bar. Compositions are the music that he played. Then he's going to deviate. So let's stop here. So he is being mentally engaged. He's mentally engaged. Later, this mental refresher course turned out to have been useful. When I went back to work, I still knew my repertory. I knew all of the songs and had almost all of it in my head as if I had been practicing throughout the war. So this is just more detail about those compositions he's going over in his mind. That's his first half of the day. Now we're going to go from the midday meal until night. I systematically ran through all the contents of the books I had read, mentally repeating my English vocabulary. Again, he's still very much active in his mind. I gave myself, this is going to be continued explanation, I gave myself English lessons, asking myself questions and trying to answer them correctly and at length. Okay, so how is he surviving a crisis? I think it is important to note that how he's surviving is by being disciplined. And all of this is what discipline looks like. So, for my claim, I'm going to interpret this to survive a crisis. You must be very disciplined. Now, I could get my evidence from a couple of ways, but I'm going to keep it easy, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this piece right here. I'm going to take that whole quote, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it right there. To keep myself. Self. And I will continue that quote all the way through, making sure I put the author's name, Spielsman, S-Z-P-I-L-M-A-N, comma, and I will want the page numbers put in. Now, in the boxes of reasoning, I need to explain how or why self-discipline, and we look at 3 different ways he was self-disciplined. He kept track of time, he conserved his strength, he was mentally engaged. These are 3 ways in which he experienced self-discipline. I need to put why self-discipline is so important to survival in my reasoning. And then I can go ahead and turn that into a full-on paragraph.